Hello and welcome. My name is Christian Wiesner and I want to guide you now through the 15-minute BYAS business presentation. Let's get started immediately and let me introduce you to the unbelievable opportunity BYAS can give to you. Just imagine you would have a 100 billion euro business opportunity in front of you. The question is very simply, would it be interesting for you to be one of the very first in a brand new 100 billion euro market? Would it be interesting for you to grow your income up to 1,000% every year in that booming market? And would it be interesting for you to be financially totally free in 3 years or less? And if this is all interesting for you, then ask yourself why you want to go in that such market and change your existing business or career. In which area do you need or want improvement? And what would your perfect life look like? Would it be just more money? Or would you like just to have more time? Or would you like to have both of all, more money and more time? And that is the reason to go into that new market, because with that crazy growth you find here, you can build a future where you very quickly build up wealth and have more money and more time very, very soon. So, the next question is, of course, if you can accomplish this, to have more money and more time, which area are the two most important areas in your life? This is the question. Would you like simply to have more fun? Is freedom important for you? You would like to have more security in your life or spend more time and money with your family? Would you just like to have a better lifestyle yourself or just build up quickly and substantially a good amount of wealth? Which two areas are the most important areas in your life? And if you look at that two areas, how would that improvements look like exactly? What does freedom exactly means for you? What does security exactly means for you? What does it really mean for you to have more time for your family? What could you do more or better than you are doing now? And the most important thing is, how would that improvement feel for you? How would you feel about really to know I can accomplish that improvement in my business or in my private life? And now, of course, that looks very interesting, but I understand if you say, look, Christian, I've been in my business or career 10 or 20 years and I didn't accomplish much in that area. So how do you expect me to believe I can do all this in just a few years or even months? And this is very important to understand, that success not always takes the same amount of time. The rule of big success for all the top earners in the world is timing. Timing is everything. Timing is more worth than hard work or talent. Because with hard work and talent in the old market, you will hardly survive. All the millionaires and billionaires and all the wealthy people all over the world have been created because they were at the right time, at the right market. And if you are in that new market with a new technology, like 100 years ago, the car technology took over the horse market, or you have laptops and computers that grew from nothing into multi-billion euro businesses. Or just take the telephones again, the mobile phones, from normal telephones like Nokia, which is not on the market anymore or hardly on the market, to the smartphones like Apple and Samsung. So you understand, if there's a new market and you can be one of the very first in that new market, you can share and earn on all that volume there is to come. And if you see that Apple was not even in the telephone market before, but now is one of the largest mobile device resellers and producers, you know you can learn any expertise as long as you understand and you see that market. So it's very important to understand new technologies. We call them disruptive technologies. So it means they're not copying the old technologies, they substitute the old technologies, like streaming. Spotify is now substituting the CD, or you have other technologies that are now so new that they substitute old technologies. So these new technologies split old markets totally new. And that means they take over 90 to 100% of that old market. And this is exactly what is happening right now to the biggest market all over Europe. The biggest market all over Europe is the beauty market. Up to 300 billion euro in the total market are spent every year from people that want to look younger or lose weight. And this market is absolutely crazy because we have a lot of people that spend a lot of money for little result. And we call this revolution in that market the beauty high-tech revolution. This beauty high-tech revolution simply means that technology helps people to have results they couldn't have before. And this high-tech, like we use high-tech in the cars or for communication, takes over the beauty market by storm. Creams, as we know, which are 99% of the people using, cannot work, and they do not work. Our skin has different layers, and we all know that without the technology, creams cannot channel their ingredients into the deeper layer of the skin where they should go to have any result. So it does not matter whether it is a cheap cream or a very expensive cream, it will always lay on top of the skin of the surface layer and will not go into deep, and therefore will not reduce the wrinkles. And if you don't have any results and you don't reduce the wrinkles, any cream, no matter how much she costs or how little she costs, is a waste of money. And people understand this. People are not happy with the results. They don't want creams without success. Maybe they tried this 5 or 7 minutes wonder creams from the TV advertising that promised them to glue their wrinkles away, but they understood the wrinkles are not really away, they're glued together, and the next morning when they wash themselves, all the wrinkles are there again. We're not talking about cheating, we're not talking about creams with no results, we're talking about beauty high-tech here. And this beauty high-tech already is success proven for the last years in the professional beauty clinics all over the world. We're talking about professional technologies like the galvanic iontophoresis, like electromuscular stimulation or radio frequency. And these technology have great results. They are proven by studies. Only the reason for most people is they cannot afford them because they are, of course, very expensive, because you need a clinic in the old times and you need a very expensive doctor. So people pay up to 500 and up to 1,000 euro per treatment and more to really have great results. So it means 1% of the people can afford it, but 99% of the people cannot afford the clinic treatments and therefore just go on using creams with no results. Now, the success of BYAS is very simple. We develop devices with the same professional technologies like the clinics for home use. And this has 3 main advantages. And because of that 3 main advantages, everybody will understand why BYAS will take over the whole beauty market. Number 1, with a BYAS facelifter, like you see in a picture, this mobile machine, everybody can give themselves treatment at home. And therefore, you don't have to leave your home and can do 3 treatments a week. That means 12 treatments a month, so you have much higher frequency, and it's like in a fitness studio. If you go 12 times a month, you definitely have better results than if you only go 1 time a month. So every BYAS user can have even better results than in the clinic because he has a higher frequency of usage. Number 2, it's much more convenient because people use it at their home. They don't have to leave their kids with some parents, they don't have to drive into the city, spend money and get a bill for the parking car, find a doctor and go there. People today have no time, and therefore a good treatment at home is very convenient. But the biggest and best reason, of course, is BYAS is affordable, 95% cheaper, up to 95% than a clinic treatment. And this is very, very good because with 4 euro a treatment and only 6 minutes of duration of the treatment, everybody has the time and everybody has the money to use that treatment on a regularly basis. And now, of course, you will ask yourself, but how is that possible? Maybe it is less quality than in the clinics. But let me tell you, it is the same ingredients, are the same producers and suppliers of ingredients like the beauty clinics use it. The reason why it is cheaper is very simple. Number one, we save costs that are not needed anymore. We don't need fancy clinics. We don't need very expensive doctors because people use the systems at home. Next point is we do not use advertising because people see the results from BYAS because of word of mouth. Our customers and partners post thousands and tens of thousands of pictures to Facebook and social medias, and people see that this works and want to have the machine very simply. And last point is our customers buy directly from the producer. The normal middleman, like importer or wholesaler or shops, take up to 80% of the customer price for the production, for the selling, and only 10 to 20% is used for the production. And therefore, if you eliminate all these unnecessary costs, you can save up to 95% less costs and have the same quality with the same technology for 95% cheaper. Just to give you a little bit of a picture, what revolution this means is just imagine you would open up a new car station, a gasoline station, where you would sell gasoline for 95% cheaper of the price. Just imagine you would be the only person offering for gasoline for 10 cents. Could you imagine what will happen on the long term? You would outsell your gasoline within minutes every day because people would queue up to buy from you. And now, of course, you understand that this is absolutely fantastic. Now, we have to also understand that we did not develop these technologies ourselves. The beauty high-tech industry with radio frequency, EMS, and galvanic iontophoresis is already years there. So the technology is pioneered in the clinics already for more than 5 years. It is a great success. There's dozens and hundreds of studies about that it works perfectly. So it is proven that this technology have the results. And as you can see in the post there, the stars all over the world already admit that they use the radio frequency, which they call again wave therapy, but in the end it's radio frequency and iontophoresis at a nicer and better form than to inject Botox or have funny surgeries which totally change their faces and impression of their faces. So the situation is like this. The clinics pioneered the technologies, and BYAS is now the right product to make these technologies perfect, available for the mass market. That means from 1% of the people, it will now grow to 50% of all the people that use these technologies within the next 5 to 10 years. And that means you are right now at the right time, at the right place. In the next 5 years, you can experience a personal financial growth of up to 1,000% growth per year and more, which we experienced in our countries in the last 2 years. Fantastic growth because of the right concept and the right product. So the question you please ask yourself very simply, if it would be possible that you can grow in income 1,000% per year in the next 3 to 5 years, would that be interesting to you? And what would that mean for your financial future? Now let's have a look about the financial potential that we can have here together. That's why we call BYAS the 100 billion euro business. We have in Europe alone 800 million people. Let's say 400 million people are women, and let's say 50% on the long term can become customers. So the average turnover per customer for the cosmetics and treatment gels that comes with a facelifter will be around 40 euro a month, and that is about 500 euro a year. And if you multiply that with the 200 million potential customers, you have a 100 billion euro potential where we are the only company having the quality of products and the concept to market the system to the customers. And now we start. After selling 100,000 machines within the first 12 months, we start our European expansion in Europe all over now. So BYAS is tested. We have our own technologies there, fantastically. And the question is very simply, how much of that turnover all over Europe available do you want in your team? And if you look at the system, just to sum it up again, We use the technology which we invented and of course also patented, the MST mobile beauty high-tech technology. And MST stands for multi-synchronous technology, and that means in one machine, in one facelifter you see on the left side, you have all the beauty high-tech technology like radio frequency, like iontophoresis and electromuscular stimulation in one handy mobile machine. And you can even use the eye lifter with the iontophoresis for the eye area. And having treatments with that both machines is between 1 to 4 euro. So even for every customer, small or very, very small budget, we have the right product to start. We have the fantastic solution to reduce not only the wrinkles, but also facial fat and even tighten the tissue and skin for double chin skin or hanging skin in the older age. So that's perfect for every age of customer. Now already we have more than 100,000 happy customers in the testing period. We are market leader in that area, and our products are success proven by German clinic study where we could prove that the amount of hyaluronic acid, this is the ingredient which is responsible for eliminating the wrinkles which we produce when we are young. But in the age when we get older from 30 years, we stop producing it, or 40 years, and then we have nothing left over. Now with our system, we can prove that we can increase the amount of that hyaluronic acid up to 10 times within 1 week. No other product could ever prove to do this. So this is by far an absolutely sensational solution for every customer that wants to have professional, study-proven results for an affordable price right at his home. It's mobile, it's convenient, it's easy to use, and it's absolutely safe. So the question is very simply at the end, we already have the first leaders that start using our business concept and building their success, as you can see on the pictures on the right, in the first countries, like Mr. Karival was, you see it on the top in Finland, or Mr. Christoph Zydlo, you see him on the upper left, on down left side from Poland, or Christoph Meuns from Belgium. You see those leaders earned up to 100,000 euro and more in 90 days. And that is possible if you build a big team. If you build a smaller team, you can earn between 3,000 to 10,000 euro monthly as a so-called local leader. And small people, which we will look up for later, can also earn 500 euro to 3,000 euro simply by referring the product, which will then be presented in a professional area for them. So that means we have 3 different categories for career opportunity available, and it's very important to understand that we have highly professional internal success coaching available. So no matter what background somebody has, we can teach him anything he needs to do to be successful with Wellstar. It's a turnkey business where all the marketing material, websites and landing pages are ready to go, used and developed right there for you. And it's very important, there is no learning phase with little income. You can earn immediately very profitable and high income from the first month, and also build a passive income after a very short period of time through the reorders of the customers. And that means within 3 years, you can be totally financially free. The question is very simply, if this is the opportunity and you can be one of the very first in your country and region, how interested are you to go serious with this? Which income is most interesting for you? Are you the part-time person with up to 3,000 euro? You want to be a local leader up to 10,000 euro, or you want to be a national or maybe even international leader up to 30,000 euro a month and more? What is your income goal for the first 90 days? So talk to the person that invited you for this presentation and let him invite you to one of the next local startup workshops where you can learn as one of the very first BYAS leaders to take this market by storm with us. I welcome you to the BYAS opportunity and say the biggest greetings to you, and I hope to see you soon on one of our kickoffs or convention. Your Christian Wiesner, CEO Wellstar.